Mr. President, this is my 10th floor speech since the October 7th attack. 10 times I have stood here and told the hostages' stories. 10 times I have expressed their families' endless pain. But for every minute that I have stood here, the hostages and their families have lived lifetimes, an eternity in each moment. I've met so many families whose entire universe has been paralyzed. I met the mothers who are despondent, fathers who are desperate. They're living between hope and despair. They're asking themselves, is my father alive? Is my daughter being raped every day? Is my husband being mistreated? Is my sister being fed? I recently met a family who say several of their loved ones were kidnapped by Hamas. 2 escaped, 1 was released, but one, 39-year-old Carmel Gat, is still being held captive. She's an occupational therapist by training. Carmel had recently returned from a 3-month trip to India and was staying with her parents in Kibbutz Be'eri. On the morning of October 7th, terrorists broke into her home. They took her mother to a street corner in the kibbutz and brutally murdered her. A few minutes later, they put Carmel into a car and drove her by that corner. That's how she learned her mother was killed. Released hostages who were with her told Carmel's family about the cruelty and the viciousness of the guards. But they also told them how brave Carmel was, defending and caring for the children being held in captivity, keeping them safe, teaching them how to turn within themselves, to meditate, to do yoga, to breathe, to give them some tools just to survive. Carmel was expected to be released on the 8th day of the November ceasefire. But just a few hours before it was her time to come home, the deal collapsed. Her family said they still haven't heard anything about her condition, whether she's alive, whether she's suffering, whether she will come home. Carmel is just one of the roughly 130 people still being held hostage by Hamas, including as many as 6 Americans. But she, like every other person whose life has been torn apart by this conflict, she's not a statistic. She's a daughter. She's loved. And our heart is with her, and we will not rest until she's home.